Joining us now is Curtis Ellis. He's a policy director for America First Policies, an organization that promotes President Trump's policy agenda. Curtis, thanks for being with us this morning.
It's so nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you know, of course, we were focusing a lot on Super Tuesday and on the Democratic candidates, but President Trump made a pretty strong showing as well.
Oh, absolutely. More people turned out to vote for President Trump than turned out to vote for some of these other candidates on the Democratic side. So it shows that enthusiasm for the president is high. We are very confident going into November. Look, Joe Biden won in states that President Trump's going to win in November, or else he won in states that we always expected to go for the Democrats. So there's really no upside for the Democrats coming out of Super Tuesday. At the same time, Super Tuesday turned into a cluster bomb for Mike Bloomberg. He lost everywhere except for American Samoa. He barely edged out Tulsi Gabbard. So whether you're talking about Samoa or Bermuda, Bloomy's got it down. But what we expect to see is that Bloomberg will lend his operation. He's built this tremendous field operation and everything. He will lend it to Joe Biden. Joe Biden is the Democratic Party's Politburo's puppet. The establishment has its candidate. They sent out the bat signal, and Klobuchar and Mayor Pete dropped out so everybody could unite behind Joe. And they started to reap the fruits of that strategy last night. You see Biden sweeping, as I said, states that he was expected to win across the South. But don't count Bernie out. And the other operation here is that we are seeing the absolute corporate consolidation and takeover of the Democratic Party. The Washington establishment, the D.C. establishment, the party establishment has its candidate, Joe Biden, a very weak candidate. He doesn't know the difference between his sister and his wife.
Right, I saw that gaffe, yeah. Last night, yeah. Look, when you think about who, now it's down to, let's say, a two-man race, right? This is basically what it's looking like here.
That's right.
How close is the Trump campaign look at these two guys now? Do you pick someone to, I don't want to say go against now, but to kind of hone your focus in on, or does this change the game at all for the Trump campaign?
Well, the Trump campaign is very capable. It has a deep bench of talent, and they're quite capable of looking at both of these guys. I wouldn't count Bernie out yet. It's going to be a hard-fought battle between Bernie and Biden. And as someone put it, it's a matter of whether we're going to be talking about Ukraine for the next 6 months, or we're going to be talking about socialism for the next 6 months. But make no mistake, Joe Biden is portrayed as a moderate. He's not a moderate. It's only a question of how quickly do we get to the socialism that Bernie Sanders wants to take us on the express train. Joe Biden will take us on the local train. And the other thing to watch here and keep in mind, Elizabeth Warren, right? She is not dropping out. She is part of the establishment plot against Bernie. Split the progressive vote, stay in the race so that the progressives, the left wing of the party, can't consolidate the way the establishment wing of the party is consolidated against Biden. That's why Biden won some of these states, because Elizabeth Warren split off the vote.
Was there an incentive there?
What?
Was there an incentive there for Elizabeth Warren, do you think?
Wait to see if she's offered the vice presidential slot on a Biden-Warren ticket.
It is interesting that she hasn't gotten out yet, and I think that is something to watch, too. Real quick, you see the polls that come out. How much do you take from this? And I'm referring to Trump virtually being beaten by Biden, even though Trump's team remains confident. What do you make when an average American looks at these polls and says, well, it says that Trump's going to lose to Biden or Sanders? Right.
Well, we always have the hidden Trump voters, and more than ever, people don't tell the pollsters what they're going to do. It's like none of my business who I'm going to vote for, especially when you're going to call me deplorable and racist and everything. And a lot is going to happen. Not a lot can happen. A lot will happen between now and November, so I don't put a whole lot of stock in these head-to-head polls. And remember, it's only several states that matter that deliver the winning electoral margin.
That is an interesting take, and he is Curtis Ellis. He's a policy director for America First Policies. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you.